Is it compulsory to file the income tax return? If yes, what is the due date and what will happen if I am not able to file the income tax return? Answer to all these questions are coming right up in this video, so make sure to watch till the very end. Hello everyone and welcome to CA Nanban. In this video we are going to discuss whether it is compulsory to file the income tax return. But before knowing that, we should know what is income tax return. Basically, income tax return is nothing but a form in which you should fill the details of your income earned or losses incurred and submit it to the income tax department. You can also submit this form online at incometaxindia.efiling.gov.in. Now let's come to the main question, whether it is compulsory to file the income tax return. The answer is yes, it is compulsory to file the income tax return for 4 categories. First, specific category of persons. Second, for specific transactions. Third, if the income crosses the threshold limit or the basic exemption limit. And there are also some other reasons where income tax return has to be mandatorily filed. So let's look at the first category, that is persons. So the following persons whom I am going to tell now have to necessarily file their income tax return even if they do not have any income, and they are companies, partnership firms and LLPs. Third, resident, ordinarily resident who is the beneficial owner of an asset or a bank account outside India. So if a person is owning an asset or a bank account outside India, that person needs to compulsorily file the return of income. Next, resident, ordinarily resident who is a beneficiary of an asset or bank account outside India and the owner does not file the return of income. For example, a person is receiving rent from a house situated in London, but the house is owned by some other person. In this case, the person will be the beneficiary of the house and hence the person has to file the return of income if the owner of the house does not file the return of income in India. Next, university or college or institutions getting special exemption under section 35 should compulsorily file their return, and then business trust and investment funds should also file their return of income. Next, there are 3 types of persons. They are religious or charitable trust, political parties and special bodies getting special exemption like research associations, news agencies, mutual funds, etc. So all these special bodies get some special exemption under the income tax law. Without considering such exemptions, if their income crosses the threshold limit or the basic exemption limit, then they need to file the income tax return. Now we'll see the second category, that is specific transactions. So if these 3 types of transactions have happened during the financial year, then the person needs to file their income tax return. Number 1, deposited more than 1 crore in one or more current accounts together. So if in the current account more than rupees 1 crore is deposited, then that person needs to compulsorily file the return of income. And here you have to be very careful that this 1 crore is a cumulative account. For example, Mr. X has 2 current accounts in which he deposits 60 lakhs each. So the total is 1 crore 20 lakhs. Hence, Mr. X has to compulsorily file their return of income. Next, if a person spends more than rupees 2 lakhs on foreign travel, whether on himself or even for other person, still that person needs to file the return of income. Then, if the electricity bill throughout the year combined crosses rupees 1 lakh, then that person is required to file the income tax return. Now let's see the main point, that is threshold limit or the basic exemption limit. This threshold or basic exemption limit is applicable for individuals, Hindu undivided families or HUFs, association of persons, body of individuals and artificial juridical persons. Now what is this threshold limit? The threshold limit is 2,50,000. So if the total income crosses rupees 2,50,000, then that person should necessarily file their income tax return. Here you should be very careful that the total income should cross 2,50,000 and not 5 lakhs. Usually till the income of 5 lakhs a person need not pay any income tax, but for the purpose of filing return of income the person should see the limit of 2,50,000 and not 5 lakhs. Now I'll tell you certain important points that you have to keep in mind while calculating this threshold limit or exemption limit of 2,50,000, and they are: number 1, the total income is sum of all the incomes that are received during the year. Then agricultural income and certain other exempted incomes like dividend income can be ignored because they are not taxed under the income tax law. Then in case of salary, you can reduce 50,000 rupees from the salary to calculate the total income. Then only 70% of the rent received has to be considered, and interest on housing loan can also be reduced. So 30% of the rent is allowed as a standard deduction. Hence, for calculating the limit, consider only 70% of rent, and if you are paying any interest on housing loan, you can reduce that as well. Then, in case of a business, you should not consider your total sales as your income, you should consider your net profit as your income. And then, deductions like LIC, PPF, Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, etc. should not be subtracted to find the limit. While paying the tax, you can reduce certain deductions like LIC, PPF, etc. But to know whether you have to file the return of income, you should not reduce the LIC, PPF, etc. Now let us see the other reasons where the person is necessarily required to file the income tax return. The first is carry forward of loss. Income tax law gives the benefit of carrying forward the loss to the next year, and then in the next year adjusting it with the profit and paying tax only on the net amount. But to carry forward the loss, a person is necessarily required to file the income tax return. However, if loss is incurred under house property, the person need not file their income tax return to carry forward the loss. Then, for claiming the refund of taxes like tax deducted at source (TDS) and tax collected at source (TCS), the person need to necessarily file the income tax return. Now, what is this TDS and TCS? While making certain payments, a person has to deduct TDS and TCS and deposit to the government. Now, for taking the refund of this amount from the government, you have to compulsorily file the income tax return. And third point, income tax return filing is also helpful in getting bank loans, visa applications, and also for import-export transactions. So these were the reasons where income tax return is necessarily to be filed. Now let us see what is the due date to file the income tax return. But before that, you should know what is due date and what is belated due date. Income tax law has a due date to file return of income, but it also allows the people to file the income tax return late, and for that late return also they have another due date, that is a belated due date. A person is not allowed to file the income tax return after the belated due date. So for year 2018-19, the due date has already been over, but the belated due date is 30th September 2020. For financial year 19-20, the due date is coming November, that is 30th November 2020, and the belated due date is 31st March 2021. Now let us see what are the consequences if return is not filed within the due date. Number 1. Interest is payable additionally at 1% per month on the tax that is payable. Number 2. A fees of rupees 1000 is payable if the income is up to rupees 5 lakhs, and a fees of rupees 5000 is payable if the income is above rupees 5 lakh. And if you file the return after 31st December 2020, then you have to pay a fees of rupees 10,000. So you have to be very careful. Then losses are not allowed to be carried forward if the return is not filed within the due date. Now let us see the consequences if the income tax return is not filed even within the belated due date. Okay. So as I told you earlier, if your return is not filed within the belated due date, you will not be able to file your return after that. So you cannot claim the refund of TDS and TCS if you do not file your return. Then after the belated due date, the income tax officer has the power to send you a notice to ask you to file the return of income. After that notice also, if you are not filing your return of income, then he has the power to do a best judgment assessment. That is, based on the facts and circumstances, he will himself assess your income and determine your tax and ask you to pay the tax. Next, penalty can be levied for concealment of income under section 270A. So a penalty can also be levied on you. And fourth, there can be prosecution proceedings also, which is imprisonment for 3 months to 7 years, which is given under section 276CC of the Income Tax Act. So there are grave consequences if the income tax return is not filed on time. Hence, be aware and file your income tax return on time if it is necessary to file it. Even if it is not necessary to file the income tax return, you can very well voluntarily file your income tax return if you want to claim the other benefits of filing the return, like applying for loans, etc. If you have watched the video till now, I am sure you have liked this video, so make sure to hit the like button. You share it with your friends, colleagues and other professionals so that they can also be aware about these facts, and don't forget to subscribe the channel to keep getting updates from CA Nanban. Thanks for watching this video. Take care. Bye bye.